Welcome to the Wallace Show Aftercast. All the stuff we didn't get to during the course of the show today. It's always fun. We have some family stop by. Isaac and Matt stop by from Oregon. Hey, fellas. And Emma, she lives here, so she's local. But we appreciate you guys swinging by and being on the show with us. That's awesome. I guess we're just going to jump into it. The kids here came out. How old are you guys?
I'm 15.
15 and 12 and 10. Oh, you picked a great day. Diving into politics.
Why are we doing this to him?
Sorry.
Terrible.
I'm sorry.
The kids don't want to hear it. Neither do we.
No.
You're the only one that does.
No, it's interesting. Well, the numbers of for the podcast being millions of downloads tell me differently. With less than 2 weeks until the first presidential debate.
We're that close.
Yeah, we haven't even announced them officially as candidates, Trump and Biden.
Yeah.
We just assume that's going to happen. Everybody is. There are some conspiracies that Biden might not make the announcement or the cut, but I don't think that's true. So we're going to do the big debate. The debates are, when they're done right, they're kind of important because you can get a sense of somebody and you go, okay, I like this person, I don't like this person, I like what they had to say, I don't like what they had to say. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be doing these, but they have new rules with it, which is interesting. Biden and Trump will stand at podiums. Which podium they get is going to be decided by a coin flip, which is it's so elementary school.
You would think that at their age they could be like, listen, dude, you pick whichever one you want.
Yeah,
like,
you have
doesn't
it.
Matter.
But these two egos, that's never going to happen. You know, I always thought that the incumbent was on one side, and then the challenger. Like I thought it was laid out that way, and maybe it was. I don't know. But anyway, these guys, that's not good enough, and so they're going to flip a coin. I hope they walk to the middle of the thing and do it like they do on a football game, because that'd be great. Heads, call it in the air. Then they got who gets to call it? Like, I don't even understand that,
I don't know. It's like watching two grandpas fight.
Can you see that? It'd be like, okay, call it in the air, Donald. And then Biden, like, why don't I get to call it? And then him, where are we? And then
turn around, Joe.
So they're going to decide that on the coin flip. Now, this is actually the one thing that might be good with this. Unless they are speaking, unless it's their turn to speak, their mic is going to be muted.
That's great.
Yes.
That's
They should.
excellent.
I'm surprised it took them this long to think of that idea.
I know, because they talk over each other, they yell over each other, everybody. It doesn't matter what political debate it is, that's what happens. And so they will constantly do that. Then they waste all that time because it eats the other person's time. Can I go back to that? Can I feel like I need to readdress this. And then it just gets crazy. Now, the interesting thing about this is it'll be less chaotic like that. But what's going to happen is somebody will say something that the other person thinks is misinformation, like right out of the gate. And then that person will want to rebut that because they're like, no, you're saying things that are wrong. So either of them could literally just say whatever they want. That's a problem because if you're keeping someone in check, the moderators better be really good at keeping someone in check on facts, but they won't. And so what's interesting is then when it's their turn to speak, they'll be like, okay, before I answer the question, I really need to address this. And they'll go back and fight about that. And you're never really going to get answers to anything outside of probably the first question that's asked and the first person that answers. That's probably the only question you're going to get an actual answer to all night.
It'll make for some great SNL.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And so the moderator said they can't use any props or pre-written notes. They will be given a piece of paper and a pen and some water. That's a good thing. And the Biden campaign set out some conditions, including that it had to be news organizations and not the Presidential Debate Commission, which, okay, fine. And this is the earliest debate that they've ever done in a presidential race. I'm really surprised. I figured we were super late.
I feel like we should have started last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, what are we doing here? But apparently this is kind of how it goes. And so they're going to actually have the debate before they accept the party's nominations officially, which is cool. I got into...
Hey, kids, how'd y'all find that entertaining?
Yeah, was it pretty interesting? You learn anything? Yeah, you learned a little something. All right, there you go.
The parts I tuned in for.
You had to wake Isaac up, but okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. I got into stories of mountain climbing after watching a movie called Free Solo. Have you seen this, Rock?
No, I saw a banner for it. Like, it came up on my home feed or whatever.
Yes.
I was like, meh.
You should see it. It is one of the most stress-inducing movies because this guy climbs this mountain called El Cap.
And there's a bear that comes out?
No,
and
no
attacks
bear.
him?
No,
A
no.
goat.
Worse.
A
Nothing.
snake. He gets bit by a snake.
Just himself.
A poisonous snake.
He climbs this giant, however many thousands of feet it is, with no ropes. No, not boring.
Well, that's just stupidity.
It's crazy that he does this. A whole movie, I am like on the edge of my seat.
Is it a documentary?
Yes, it's called Free Solo. It's really, really good.
It's on
I think
Disney
you'll like
He's
it.
doing it for the clout.
No.
He became super famous
actually.
from it, but it's worth seeing, honestly. Like with some of the crazy murder things you watch. Sorry, kids. It's worth watching, and so I've even started like seeing him in mainstream commercials now for different things.
Clout.
Yeah, his name's Alex. I forget his last name. But then I started watching Red Bull TV and mountain climbing and all this other stuff. I thought about getting a climbing membership at one point in time, but then my shoulder, I can't because my shoulder's bad.
Oh yeah, you'd be a bad climber.
Yeah, I can't. My shoulder's worked right now. But have you seen the footage of Mount Everest being so clogged up? You've seen that picture, right, Rock? There was all these people on the top of this mountain trying to climb Mount Everest, and it's just a line of climbers
I have not seen
on the
that.
edge. Oh, it was really famous. Okay, murder stuff. Again, sorry, kids. Do something better with your life than Betty does. Yeah. So there's a
Look at that.
clog, and they can't. There's so many people trying to climb, and they're getting up there that they can't get to the summit, and they have to wait for hours. And sometimes people have died there waiting. It's crazy.
Silly.
So Mount Fuji in Japan isn't having any of that. Mount Fuji in Japan has installed a control gate halfway up Mount Fuji to limit the amount of people climbing onto the mountain. But I see Betty Rock's face, and I'm curious if you have the same thought I have. You put a gate up to stop mountain climbers. Don't you think they can climb the gate? And if they can't, they shouldn't be allowed to climb the mountain.
Well, and who's going to man that gate?
I know, because it's
anybody?
It's overnight too, because they don't want people racing for the summit. Because a lot of times you have to leave at 3 in the morning, because it takes you so long to get there, and you're trying to summit by morning. So a lot of times these climbers get up and they leave 2, 3 in the morning to make an 8-hour trek from their last base camp and stuff. And so yeah, they've limited that for Mount Fuji. Which again, it seems crazy. Like I would think they would just climb the gate.
Yeah,
but
that's a
apparently,
stupid idea.
Yeah, I don't have the patience to wait in line to climb mountains. That's the only thing stopping me.
That's it.
That's it.
Totally.
That and the lack of oxygen. I know, like on the second floor here, when you do the stairs fast, you're like, There was a time.
That's because you don't breathe right.
I don't. There's something wrong with me, but I have
Among many other things.
I used to believe wholeheartedly in my abilities to do things and push through things and overcome things that I did not have the physical skills to do. And I really believed in myself, and I don't anymore. Like I know my body's limitations
I don't
now.
believe in myself.
I don't.
Kids, believe in
Yeah.
yourself. Well, I don't believe in
I don't.
myself.
There's a point at which, and you're headed for this, like they're gonna be so sad, that you just your body will not do what you want it to do, and it can't do what it used to be able to do. And I've realized that cardio is one of those things. If I had to chase somebody down, Liam Neeson style, like to save my family, I'm looking for a new family. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like I mean, I literally couldn't force my body to do it. You know, it's
So
just
for the kids, so far we have covered
politics and debates,
murder, and
Death on a mountain.
death on a mountain, and how your body will give out on you
Yeah,
one day.
how it's just looming over your head. It's coming for you. The icy grip of the reaper. All right. Well, that's what I got. What do you got, Rob?
Okay, well, it's not going to get any better.
Pass the
So,
baton.
Dr. turned TV personality Dr. Oz was recently on a flight when a fellow passenger, a middle-aged, healthy man, kept going in and out of consciousness after about an hour and a half on a flight. Now, I have in this article what Dr. Oz, an actual doctor, did. Now, I want to take you through the process, Wally, as
I'm an amateur
first responder.
Yeah. Okay. What would I do?
See what you would have done.
Absolutely.
So here's the situation.
Give it to me. I'm ready
You're
to go.
An hour and a half into a flight.
Put me in,
And a
coach.
middle-aged, healthy man is going in and out of consciousness.
In and out of consciousness. Got it. That's the symptoms he's presenting.
First, I would like to say that it said in the article, once flight attendants asked for medical help, that's when Dr. Oz stood up and said something. Now, you on the other hand, I don't
Right.
feel like you would wait for that.
Proactive.
You would see someone going in and out of consciousness.
As a
in
first
what?
responder, I know.
Amateur first responder.
An amateur first responder, I know the importance of time. The first 48. You got to get in there early because sometimes that makes the difference between life and death. So my first choice would be I'm going to go to the cockpit and I'm going to offer to fly the plane faster to go back home because I think that might be good. But then if they don't let me fly the plane, I will come back and do my first responder stuff.
Which is?
First responder stuff. I'm going to assess him because
feel the wrists?
he's going in and out. He's going in and out of consciousness. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assess him. I am going to take his blood pressure. I am going to call.
How do you
Now,
tell
when
what
he
the
said
blood pressure is?
he
What does that
put
mean?
his 2 fingers
Yeah,
to the
his
side of
pulse.
his neck.
I'm going to take his
Okay,
pulse.
there we go.
Yes.
Sir, do you know what
I
you're
don't have a
doing?
blood pressure cuff,
calls it
obviously.
blood pressure.
Yes, I'm gonna take his pulse, make sure he's good.
Okay.
I am probably going to call for oxygen from the flight attendants to help me at
think
this
they have
point.
that?
Wait,
yes,
is the
they do.
oxygen for you or for the man?
Both of us. I'm gonna take a little hit myself just to keep my mind going because pure oxygen's good for you. And then yes, I'm gonna suggest that we run him on a low feed of oxygen, probably about 20 O2s, something like that. Something like that.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna get him some oxygen, see if we can get some color back in his face.
Yeah.
and
Love
see
color.
if we, and see. I would also check to see if his seatbelt was too tight first, because that could have been causing the problem. I would probably then jiggle his legs, because well, a lot of people won't do this, but if you're on a flight
If you
and you
jiggle-
sit too long, you can get blood clots, and so I would jiggle
So
his
that
legs.
that would loosen up the blood
Yes.
clots so that they
Move
could
him
travel
around.
to his lungs
faster.
or his heart.
Yeah, because I don't want to be late to where I'm going. I
gonna
want to
cut-
finish this
You're
quickly.
going to commit murder.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you're a tad bit right.
Yes.
So this is
Oh,
what Dr.
no.
Oz did.
Thank you.
He said after oxygen,
Yep.
some orange juice,
Yep. Yeah.
and time.
Yeah.
You didn't say orange juice. So.
I would have given him a little bit of my
Sure.
soda.
He said he was able to recover and plans to visit his local physician.
Yeah.
He said low blood
Blood
sugar
sugar, yep.
is the
Stop
cause of
repeating.
Yeah,
fainting.
absolutely.
Which explains the orange juice.
Yep, like-
and oxygen was provided because it's the best drug we ever use.
Yeah,
is
it
what he
gets
said.
right to you. It goes right in. And like when you pass out from donating blood, they give you orange juice, low blood
Yeah,
sugar.
but you never said orange juice.
I didn't know they had it on the plane. If
They
I
always
Do
do they have
offer
orange
it.
juice on a plane?
Yes.
always an
I
option.
only get Coke and cookies. Like that's all I ever get. That's all I've ever thought of.
Okay, I've got you another situation. So this isn't the first time that Dr. Oz had to step into the
Okay.
situation. In 2018, a fellow passenger collapsed.
Okay.
Okay. And a stewardess asked Dr. Oz personally
Yes.
for help. Now, that wouldn't happen for you.
Right. They would say, "Is there anybody that can help?" And I would say, "Yes."
No, they wouldn't even have a chance to ask, is
Yeah,
there
I'm
anyone
in.
that can
Remember that time I held the oxygen bottle? That's how I know there's an oxygen bottle, because I held it while they let some hack flight attendant try to save this person, but I could have done it.
Okay, so this passenger has collapsed.
Yes.
That's all we know.
Okay.
What would you do?
Well, first of all, you have to assess if it's a heart condition.
Jiggle the legs?
No, you don't do
Oh.
that yet. That's at later.
Blood
step.
pressure on the side of
Yeah,
the neck?
you check to see if they're breathing. So you go
Oh.
down, you listen, you listen, look, listen, feel, and then stop, drop, and roll. You roll them around a little bit. Yeah, you just roll them, and then you take their legs and you put their knees up by their ears,
Okay.
just to see if they're awake. And if that doesn't wake them up, then you're like, okay, they're actually out.
Okay.
We've
Then-
established.
Yeah, so
That
they
they
are
are out.
truly
Okay.
out. They're not faking.
Okay, so now what?
Tickle them.
Well, if they're not breathing, I would start CPR immedately.
Which is?
Cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
But what do you do?
Oh, I would. You put your hands 2 fingers below their chest bone, their breastplate, and then you push down. And they don't do the breaths as much
Nope.
anymore. Used to do breaths a lot,
Now,
but
would
not
you be
now.
singing your own song to keep
I would
pace,
do.
or would you ask someone else?
I staying alive.
You're already
staying
doing it
alive.
so fast.
Yeah, well, because I want to get through this faster. I want them to be healthy faster. I staying alive.
Now,
staying
that's
alive,
only
staying
if
alive.
the guy
1.5
is
speed.
not breathing. What if he is breathing?
Oh, if he is breathing,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna be like, dude, walk it off. Like, come on. No, if he is breathing,
your
we won't do chest compressions. We would go with oxygen again just to help out the
Okay.
situation, I believe. If he's not breathing well, if it's shallow breathing, well, I would elevate the legs to keep blood going towards the heart.
Interesting.
I would do that, and then
Interesting.
if all else fails, if he's not responding, I would ask for a pen. like a ballpoint pen. I would take that pen apart. Then I would ask for something sharp.
No.
And I would do a tracheotomy with a ballpoint pen in his neck. That's what they used to always do on every doctor show I ever saw.
That's
and so
never an option.
That is what I would do. And and then I'd blow in it like and try to blow his lungs up and be like, live, Frank, you've got a family. And so that's what I would do. How'd I do?
Okay, you kind of got it right.
Again, I'm an amateur first responder.
So this is what Dr. Oz did. He said, I got him to lie on his back and put his feet up on the emergency doors. Okay?
And then he kicked it open.
To get a more reasonable pulse and blood pressure.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Then Oz used electrode pads from the plane's automated external defibrillator.
Oh, the AED? Oh, that's right. They do have AEDs.
To create a makeshift EKG test
okay, now that's
to test for a possible heart attack.
Okay, now that's pretty good because normally those things are designed to shock you into rhythm. And so, wait, I think it tells you if it's in rhythm or not. So, like, did he really makeshift this or did he just use it like he's supposed to?
That is what, no, that's what the article is saying. Honestly, if Dr. Oz is on the same flight as you and he's got it handled, don't question anything that he's doing. Just let him do it.
If we were on the same flight, they would probably have to also ask for my medical attention for Dr. Oz because I would have pushed him out of the way and maybe stepped on his neck. And then, so I'd have to take care of the first patient, number one, and then I would move and treat Dr. Oz for the damage I did to him.
Well, after all that was said and done, his feet were resting on the emergency doors. They checked for blood pressure and checked for a possible heart attack. They found out that the passenger was transferred to a hospital once they landed, and he was diagnosed with a bad case of the flu.
Oh, gross. Okay.
Gross?
Yeah.
Less
gross.
Cool.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if he showed up with a ballpoint pen
in his neck?
like,
How'd this get there?
John Wick.
Yeah.
Funny story.
I'm on a plane. Yeah. I'm on a plane with a guy who's not an actual doctor.
I just had the flu.
He said it just wheezes because the pin opening is too
just
small.
Had the flu.
Oh, so good. All right. So, do you have any birthdays?
I do. I have a few. We got Kaya to her sister Erica. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. She's a great sister, loves the Wally Show, and we love laughing over hypothetical Hayden and Haley.
That's so funny.
Steven, he wants to wish his friend Addie a happy birthday. She celebrated yesterday, said she loves music and art, and is a theater kid almost.
Nice.
I don't know
to
what that
all
means.
the kids who just heard everything we've talked about.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, the question is, if you had to go back to college but had to choose a different major, what would each of you choose?
Oh, first responder. I'd actually go get some skills.
It's a lot more school.
You have to go to doctor school, and we both know you ain't gonna do that.
Well, I'm just gonna get the bullet points. I'm gonna get the things I think I need. Yeah, I'm gonna get just the 30,000 foot level stuff. Yeah,
I'll read a book.
Like how to not actually kind of kill somebody when you're trying to help them. That's the level that I
Jiggle
would want.
their legs.
Yeah, that's all I'm interested in. That or karate school. I would go to karate school.
I don't think that's the thing.
Really? I'd major in karate.
You know what I would do? I would go to Otter School.
Oh,
because we were just
Speaking
told
of.
Pastor Chad and Ruth Ann Marie were taking a walk outside, and they passed by this little pond out front, and there were otters in it. That's what they claim.
That's what they say. I've never seen
there
them.
were 4 otters in it, and I'm like, how do otters get there in the middle of nowhere?
I want
It's
an otter
kinda
so
odd.
bad.
But anyway, some other people went down there, and they didn't see it. But I would just love to feed otters and pet them.
Yeah, that's what I wanted
love on
Haley
them.
to be a penguin trainer, and then she went to musical theater and let me down. Like, ugh.
Anyway, Gavin, you with your theater degree. No,
I'm starting to treat Haley
movie
like
degree,
Don't even
film
have-
degree. What do you want to call it?
Cinema, maybe
Cinema.
in cinema
Yeah.
studies.
I'm going to study films. That's fun.
It was big. Yeah.
Oh, for the record, kids, don't do media studies in
Or
college.
theater.
Or
Or
theater.
theater.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
theater.
But-
It's a giant waste of time.
I don't think I'd excel at it, but I would like to go to culinary school.
Oh, that
Because
would be great.
I think you could have
Hey.
fun, learn
Yes.
how to, cook food really
Yeah.
well. I would love more than anything, to be able to chop things
Sure.
really
Yeah.
fast and not cut my finger.
I have watched so many videos on cooking because I'm an amateur culinary
my
chef
gosh.
too. But
No,
like
you're not.
That's new.
I have a machine that will chop onions, but I refuse to use it. I cut them Gordon Ramsay style. I learned
yeah.
from him, and I do the thing where you put your knuckle out and
Slide
then
it
you
with it,
slice it
man.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
I do that. I love that. And the beautiful thing about culinary school, no one judges your body choices. Like you can be out of shape, out of weight, whatever, overweight, and they're like, yeah, he's a
Dude,
chef.
if my chef comes out and I'm seeing,
Skinny?
2XL,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I'm sitting there like, this guy knows what
Nicely
he's
done.
doing.
This guy knows what he's doing. This
yeah.
guy knows where the butter is.
Dude, if he comes out like a twig, I'm not as excited.
There's vegetables hidden in there somewhere. I don't want that. I don't need that in my life.
Have you heard of a burger?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's a great career that you could enjoy and not have to feel guilty about the way
Yeah.
you look either.
And it's tough though, because I think I'd want to end up in a place that's almost that is food but not too serious, because there's this show called The Bear.
Yeah,
that makes it look like it's a really, really like stressful
Oh yeah.
career.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I wouldn't want to be fine dining cooking. I'd want to be,
Being
above manager of Chick-fil-A, but not, 5-star restaurant.
Being in restaurants, it's its own subculture.
Yeah.
Anyone that's ever worked in restaurants will tell you this. It is
I wouldn't do it.
It is
grind.
its own. It is a grind. Like the language. It's like being in a mainstream radio station or a factory, like assembly line. Like the language is so bad. The conversations about it is a rough place to work. And they have their own culture, and it's fascinating for people that like do that. I couldn't do it. I don't think I would live well in that world.
I don't think I'd have the.
I wonder if the same rules apply in a Chick-fil-A chicken kitchen.
No,
I would
they're
say
respectful.
not.
Yeah.
I've seen into those kitchens.
Yeah,
they look like they're high-fiving and
Yeah, they pray over the chicken.
exactly,
too, so
and they're just
pretty
heating it
great
up too.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, with that, we're gonna let
Kids,
these
what
kids
did you
get out of
learn?
here and hopefully feel better
They're
about
like,
their
we
lives.
learned nothing.
Make some better life decisions. Find some better heroes. All right, that's gonna do it for your Aftercast.
Hey, we won't be doing a podcast or an Aftercast tomorrow.
right.
We've got the day off tomorrow. It's a holiday.
Yep, Juneteenth.
So we will be back on Thursday.
On Thursday, we're going to ask Betty to tell us what was the significance of it.
what did you learn?
She already was like, I don't care what day it is. Just as long as I have it off, I don't care.
Yeah, say less.
Yeah.
I do not care. If I got the day off, I'll celebrate whatever.
Lets her sleep in, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, as always, thanks for being a potty. Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.